Okay, the next part of the clubs and organizations factor of the website is if somebody wants to create a membership interest form, which basically they fill the form out and then it emails the club advisor and any other people that might be considered privy to that information. So what we want to do is go to components and then click on Civic RM. And this is actually going to be the longest thing that we'll actually do with the clubs and organizations page. And it's kind of a step-by-step process, so you really want to make sure you don't miss anything here. We're going to go to contacts and we're going to do new group. And this is a little bit weird at first, but in the next tutorials we'll show why this is important. The group is going to be the Gay Straight Alliance. We are going to want to click on mailing list. And then for parent, we're actually going to want clubs and organizations. And then we'll go ahead and click continue. Now, one of the things that gets a little bit frustrating is the Civic RM is actually a SQL database running within our SQL database. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does take a little bit longer for it to load because of that factor. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Next thing we're going to want to do is contacts and new organization. New organization name is actually going to be Gay Straight Alliance. Then we'll scroll down. Custom data needs to be yes. And then tags and groups, we want to go ahead and Gay Straight Alliance. So we want to click as group. And then we want to create the tag membership. And we can do volunteer as well. This just basically helps with the search. When you run the search of the Gay Straight Alliance, it will pull up more information. So we'll go ahead and hit save there. And now we want to go to administer, and we want to go to Civic member, and we want to create a membership type. So we'll click on membership types, and you can see a list of all our different memberships. And we want to do a new membership type. Name, we want to go Gay Straight Alliance. Description, we leave that blank. Membership organization, we can type in the first part of the group and then click on search, and it will actually find the organization and group that we just created. As you can see, it populates. If you just typed in a couple letters, if it was something more common like the guild, you would type in the, and it would show you 2 or 3, and then you just select the one that you want. Contribution type, we're actually going to do, we'll do volunteer. We're going to do volunteer for this. Duration is 1 year. Period type is going to be fixed. And you can see it populates a new setting. We set it for August 1st and then end it July 31st. And the reason why we do that is so then it sends a reminder to students that they need to sign back up for it. So that way the advisor can ask you for a sheet of all the membership signups from last year and throughout the summer, and then they can get in contact with them. And then make sure that's enabled. Relationship type, you don't have to put anything there. Visibility, you want public. Order doesn't matter. And then we'll go ahead and click on save. The next set is we want to go over to contributions, and we want to create a new contribution page. Now, you think contributions and you automatically think funding. This isn't contributions in that aspect. It can be volunteer work, membership, whatever the case may be. For this one, we're going to do membership. So the title of this one needs to be Gay Straight Alliance. Contribution type is going to be volunteer. Introductory message is going to be, yes, I am interested in becoming part of the Gay Straight Alliance. Please have someone contact me if I have any more questions. I can contact the Student Development office at 608-75-9445. The reason why I put the student development office is because if the job changes, like you leave G or whatever the case may be, or if the advisor leaves, this number is pretty much always the same. So that's why we put it in there. One of the things that I do is I actually copy this because we're going to use again, so Control C, of course. And then we scroll down, no footer message, nothing else. Make sure that this is checked yes, and then hit continue. Next thing is, do we want to take real-time monetary transactions? For this we don't. As you can see here, we don't have a payment processor set up at this time. We can do PayPal. Basically this is the same way that you would do like ticket sales or something like that in the future. We're not going to worry about that because we have never set it up yet at this time. So uncheck both of those sections and then hit continue. Membership section enabled. Yes, that's kind of the primary goal here. We don't have to put a title and introductory message. We actually typed that in before. And then we'll go ahead and select on the Gay Straight Alliance. On both of those, require membership sign up. Display membership fee, no, because there is no fee. Then hit continue. Thank you page, yes. Thank you for your interest in our organization. And then we'll just put down here, thank you. And then we don't need to enter in a footer. Receipt from name. I usually just put the advisor's name or student development here. Receipt from email. I always put the email address of the advisor. So as advisors change, you're going to want to have to go back in and change that. Receipt message. This is basically the same message as up here. So copy and then paste. So you're emailing the receipt to contributor. This is the email that they'll see. And then you could do a CC receipt too. This could be either like your job as student development coordinator, or you could be CC the receipt to the student president of that organization. Typically I just have them set to the advisors just because of FERPA rules and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue. Tell a friend. You can have this enabled or not. Just make sure you change the wording in here. It does create wording. With the clubs and organizations, I don't usually do the tell a friend unless they specifically request it. With some of the student government things I do. So we'll just click on continue. You're going to want to include the profile, volunteer profile, and that basically has name, email, phone number, and then it has the FERPA thing that we had talked about where you have to select yes in order to continue signing up, and then it's got the reCAPTCHA to make sure that we don't get attacked by computer robots essentially. Premium sections, don't need that enabled because we're not collecting funds. Widgets, same thing, we don't need that. And personal campaign pages, we don't need that. All those last three things are basically for fundraising. If you guys ever get into that, we can discuss that at that time, but for right now I'm not going to put that in the video. From there now we're actually going to go to content, or I'm sorry, we're going to go to menus, and we're going to go to clubs and organizations. And then we're going to go new. And we're going to go to Civic RM. And contribution pages, we want contributions. Membership interest is just what I usually put in here. And then contribution, oh sorry, make sure you select the parent because every child needs a parent. Gay Straight Alliance. Then over here on contribution page, you'll actually just go down to the Gay Straight Alliance, which is right here. And we should be good. And from here now, what we'll do is hit our refresh to see if it showed up. Looks like it did, so we'll click on the link. And there it is. All the information, that volunteer profile that we had talked about, first name, last name, phone number, and then contact release. They have to select on this before the information will be processed. That's for the FERPA thing that me and Shelly had talked about. And then they have to enter in this reCAPTCHA data, and that's basically so that way we're not getting attacked by spam bots and things like that, which could essentially crash the system. It's just kind of a security measure. As you can see, it can be read, I think. I haven't used this yet.
Please type every word you hear with a space between each word. Don't worry if you have trouble with some words. Just enter your best guess. Red.
So you can see it works kind of nice, and then you can always do the new challenge and things like that. But people go ahead and fill this out, and then if you set all your settings right, then basically what will happen is that it will email the advisor, in this case Noel Weber, with that this had been submitted. Now this gets back, you can see there's no menu on the left hand side, so go back to the administrator, go to the extensions module manager. Because we've been working with the clubs menu, that's automatically going to pop up. If you weren't, you would just type in clubs in the filter here, and then clubs would show up. Click on the menu, scroll down, you can see it's in white, so you want to hold your control key and then click on it, hit save, go back to the website, hit refresh, and there's our menu that we were talking about earlier. And that's how we create a membership interest form with the westernstudents.org. Thanks, and I'll see you at the next training video.